Hello friends, this is Himanshu Jain from the Wall Street School. We are an official training partner of the CFA Institute. Now, every month we get a lot of queries from the students asking about the preparation strategy for CFA Level 2 examination. Now there is no specific download for this, but over a period of time we have developed certain critical guidelines which are sort of a have-must for students appearing for CFA Level 2 examination. What those guidelines are, what study material the students should use, what mistakes they should avoid, plus a detailed granular study plan. This is all a part of this video. Watch out till the end.
Let's start. In this video, I'll be going around how you should prepare for CFA Level 2. I'll be talking about my guidelines for you, how you should prepare, what will be the way to study, what will be the flow of preparation, which topics to cover first, which one to cover later, and the approach while you are reading those topics. Right? Let us start. Firstly, let us talk about preparation guidelines. This guideline is applicable for coaching students as well as those students who are preparing by themselves. Okay, first of all, let me make one thing very clear. This is not CFA Level 1. If your approach to study was, let's mug up everything and spill out an exam, this will not work now. I have seen n number of candidates and I see them every year. Those who are struggling with CFA Level 2. Even despite of exams being postponed 2 times, still many candidates are not confident. They are reading for CFA Level 1 from January 2020 up to this point and they are still not confident because they are mugging up everything. Don't do that. It will not work in exams. Whatever you have done till Level 1, that's perfectly fine. But for Level 2, you need to be more analytical, right? You cannot cram in everything. Next point is the volume and depth of syllabus is more than CFA Level 1. So n number of hours if you put in there, you have to put n into something, right? The volume and depth, both the dimensions are much more than CFA Level 1. So you need to keep that in mind. Number 3, all the concepts that you learned in Level 1, all concepts will be applied here. So Level 1 was more or less based on your understanding of the concept. This Level 2 will be based on your application of the concept. So you need to have very good grasp of CFA Level 1 concepts. If you don't have them, please revise whatever you have studied in CFA Level 1. You don't need to revise everything, but there will be specific chapters that you need to revise to make a good grip for CFA Level 2 topics. Right? With that being said, now the candidates generally ask me, sir, what is the time required? How much should I study? Firstly, let me tell you, it's not about quantity, it's about quality of your study. This being said, I still need to give you some broad guidelines, right? So it is, you need 3 to 4 months to absorb everything, right? What I mean by absorb, I mean you need to read it, then keep it with you, then unlearn it, then read it again. So you need approximately 3 to 4 months depending upon the hours you are putting in for study to absorb everything. You should know what is there in my syllabus and have say 60-70% of that in your memory. Then you need to do at least 2 revisions, right? This will take approximately 1.5 to 2 months. And then you need 15 days for your mock exams. You need to appear for 4 to 5 mock papers. So this adds up to say 4 plus 2 plus say 0.5. This is 6.5 months. Sir, do I really need 6.5 months to prepare for CFA Level 2? See, higher the time you put in for your studies, for your practice, greater is the probability of you clearing. I have seen candidates who are able to clear CFA L2 in last 2 months. But that's not beneficial. You are again cramming in everything and then spilling out an exam. See, for your mind to function properly, you need to give it some time to absorb new things, unlearn it and then relearn it. When you do your revisions, when you reread something, it will stay with you for a longer period. So you need to give that time. Otherwise, what happened in level 1? Even though you are able to clear the exams, you don't have those skills, right? So you need to give it proper time. Please, it is a professional exam. You need to pay it the requisite respect, right? Let's move ahead. Now let me talk about how do you study. Now you know the time frame. Okay, I need to put in 3 to 4 months to absorb everything. But how do I study? Here also I'll be addressing both types of candidates. Number one, who is preparing by themselves or who are using help of a coaching institute to absorb everything, right? Coaching institute can help you to learn, can help you to practice, say maybe one time, but you need to put in your own work. Number one question that candidates ask me, which notes to use. For CFA level 2, I don't say anyone explicitly, please go and refer institute's module, though it is very, very detailed in nature, and that's a pro as well as a con. I've seen many students, those who start with books that are far more detailed in nature, but they don't end up absorbing the complete book, right? So I do not want you to study from 10 different sources, because in the last 30 days it becomes really difficult to absorb everything and put everything in one place. I always recommend to use Schwezer notes, those of you are preparing by themselves, right? 5 books and 2 practice book, good enough. Those of you are going for coaching institute, use your instructor notes. He have put in lots of effort to develop those notes. So you can use those notes. Every year, hundreds of candidates are being trained by that instructor and are able to qualify L2 exam. So you can trust on that, right? Then the next question candidates ask me, sir, from where do I practice the questions for CFA level 2? So if you are preparing by yourself or you are going to coaching institute, you need to go to candidates resources available on the CFA Institute's website in your account. There will be a topic wise test, right? For all the 10 topics, there will be separate questions. Then you can practice flashcards. I hope you have practiced flashcards in level 1 also. What is flashcard? A card will be there with say a concept say called as heteroscedasticity, right? Now the term is written over here. You need to recall in your mind, what does this term mean, right? Then in the end, last 15 days, last 20 days, you need to appear for institute's mock exams. It is also available on the website, right? And if you are going to a coaching institute, you need to practice your instructor's question. So for coaching students, you will be practicing your instructor's question, instructor's test, as well as the candidates resources available on the institute website. This is a must. This will give you a very good flavor of exam situation, right? So you should practice it, especially once the exams are made CBT based, that is computerized based. From 2021 we are going to have all the exams computer based, so it will be a very good experience if you go to the particular website like institute's website and then practice questions. It will be a really good experience for you, right? Then many students ask me, sir, how many questions I need to practice? So my clear cut answer is 2000 plus questions you need to practice for CFA level 2. If you want to divide it, you can say 2000 questions are there and there are 60 readings. So it will be somewhere around 34 questions each reading. You can do that, right? Obviously all the readings won't be having 34 questions. Few of them will be having 50, 60, 70 questions and few of them will be having 10, 20, 30 questions. But on an average, you should practice 34 questions for each reading, right? Or maybe if you are looking at topic wise, so 2000 divided by 10 topics, so 200 questions for each topic. This is the broad guidelines, and as I told in level 1 video, maybe you can compromise someday on your study. That is perfectly fine with me, but not with questions. You cannot compromise on number of questions. You have to practice all the questions, right? Minimum 2000 questions. Sky is the limit for maximum number of questions, but on minimum side you need to practice 2000 questions. I'm repeating it again. What happens is, when I tell a candidate you have to practice 2000 questions, for first 1000 questions he is very serious. For next 500 questions he is okay, I'll practice more. For next 500 questions many candidates give up. So those of you are able to practice 1500 questions, that's a good quantity of question. But to be very sure that if I appear for exams, I'll be able to clear it, no doubt about it, then you need to approach this 2000 mark, right? Once you are able to touch this 2000 mark and maybe even able to cross it, then the probability of you clearing exam will be almost certain, right? I cannot guarantee 100%, but it will be almost certain. So you need to practice. I am emphasizing this again. You need to practice 2000 plus questions. Let's move ahead. Now let us talk about how you will be preparing, which topic to take first and which topic to take later, right? I have not intentionally given the weightage of topics here because I want you to focus on, since you have started studying 6 months before, please do not pay much importance to the weightage. Firstly, for the first 2 to 3 months, you need to pay importance to absorb everything. Then you can dive deep into, say, if a particular topic is having more weightage, prepare it even better, right? But for the first 3 months or first 4 months, you need to absorb everything very, very nicely, right? So I always insist to start with equity. This is more or less theoretical in nature. There won't be any sums to solve, hardly in any of them, but it will give you a very good grasp of all the concepts related to equity, right? So you can start with equity. It is having the maximum number of weightage in CFA L2 syllabus. Then financial reporting and analysis. First 3 chapters are very, very crucial and very tricky, so you need to pay special attention towards those 3 chapters and complete this. Then you have corporate finance, relatively easy, but mergers and acquisition chapter is bit tricky and extensive, so you can see n number of questions there, so do practice it well, right? So this is first set that I recommend. You can finish this in 1.5 months, right? Good enough time to complete 3 subjects. Then you have fixed income, derivatives, alternative investment. This is for me another set. Fixed income is bit tricky in nature, as well as derivatives. If I want to rank on the level of difficulty, I will say fixed income is somewhere around 8 on 10 and derivatives is somewhere around 6.5 on 10. So you need to prepare fixed income very well. There will be lots of calculation, lots of use of your BA2 plus calculator, lots of conceptual linking from CFA level 1. So you need to practice it really well. That's why we are starting this a bit earlier than derivatives and alternative investment. Alternative investment, private equity, the chapter in which you will be dealing with private equity, that will be bit tricky in nature. So, and derivatives is like average, not very difficult, not very easy, right? So you need to be very cautious of how you are preparing and level of difficulty. So it will be somewhere around 1 month to prepare these 3. Then you have your portfolio management, comparatively easy but a bit extensive. You can prepare this in 15 days approximately. Then you have quants, economics and ethics. So quant is very tricky. It's like FRM part 1 quants, almost similar to that. If you combine CFA L1 and L2 quants, it is as good as FRM part 1 quants. So quants, you need to give it proper time. It will be a tricky subject if you are especially not from mathematics background, so you need to give it proper time. So it will take approximately 25 days. Then you have economics and ethics, only 3 chapters in economics, fairly straightforward but little bit tricky, so it will take say 15 days. Now comes the ethics part, I think the trickiest subject of all. So what many candidates do is keep it for last 30 days, but it's not a good strategy in my opinion. What you should do is, you can read ethics whenever you find some free time, or whenever you are bored with, say, equity. If you are bored with that, just start with ethics, complete say 2, 3, 5 pages, then move back to equity. So I always like to disperse it in my preparation months, but many candidates keep it for last 30 days. If that works for you, that is perfectly fine, but my recommendation is do ethics over a period of time. It is the trickiest thing, right? Even if you ask the faculties who are teaching ethics from last multiple years, sometimes even they get confused. So it's a tricky thing. You need to be very cautious of the wordings, how they are asking question, what they are asking. So please start preparing for it from the very beginning and do it in bits and parts. Okay, now comes the next question. How do you approach the reading? Okay, you know the flow, you know how much time to devote, but how do I approach it? How should I start reading, right? How to approach the readings. So if you want to get 360-degree hold of a concept from exam point of view as well as knowledge point of view, and I'm not talking about cramming thing, please. So what you have to do is to get fully prepared for any reading, you need to approach it from 4 different dimensions. The first one is learn the entire concept. This will contribute to your 40% preparation. Just read it once, and if you find anything difficult, mark it. Study like a kid, right? Use multiple color pens, use sticky notes if you find any concept difficult, or if you want to make any concept part of your revision, just highlight it. Then after learning every concept, what you can do is practice the questions given in those blue boxes. If you want, you can practice it at the end of reading the complete reading, or what you can do is complete one LOS, do the question on it, complete another LOS and do the question on it. This will contribute 10% of your the preparation. So these two in total contribute 50%. Sir, what's the remaining 50%? See, if you have read anything, say 1 month back, 2 months back, it won't be in your mind as of now. So what you need to do is revise it, relearn it. This will substantiate the concept in your mind. You will not forget it once you read it multiple times. So relearning, if you want 1 reading, do it. If you want 2 reading, do it. If you want to read your notes, if you want to read the highlighted parts, sticky notes, whatever you want to do, just relearn everything. Give it a time, you learn something, maybe give it a 15 days, 20 days break, and then revisit that topic. It will contribute to your next 20%. Sir, what's the remaining 30%? It's practice. You need to solve n number of questions. My recommendation is, I told you 34-35 questions. But if you are finding any particular topic difficult, do not stop on 35 questions. This is just average, right? Suppose I am reading alternative investment, and in that I am reading introduction to commodities, and I am finding that particular topic bit challenging in nature. So do not stop at 30-35 questions. Practice 50, 60, 70 questions if required, right? You need to have a good grasp over the particular topic irrespective of the questions available. I know the exams have postponed. Maybe you can take 1.5 month break, complete your whatever pending things are, get back to studies. I don't want you to study for 7 hours, 8 hours straight. Study 1.5 hour, 2 hour daily. What's the time that institute is recommending? I told you it's not about the quantity, it's about quality. But the CFA Institute recommends somewhere around 300 hours. But to be very frank, you need to be somewhere around 400 hours to have that certainty that, okay, you will be able to clear, right? So you need to put in 2 hours daily. No need to waste time and start preparing towards the end of February or March. Don't do that. You have 1.5 months break. Start preparing, say, from November. You can start from December, not more than that, right? With that being said, I'll see you in the next video. I hope I am able to add some value. If in case you have any doubts, feel free to reach us at thewallstreetschool.com. We are very active in the comment section below. So if you have any queries related to this video, or maybe want to reach us, please post a comment below and we'll be contacting you back very soon. Thank you.